video. So it's a little different today. Today is kind of like a maintenance day. I plan on going fishing this weekend, so I have some work to do. So it's been a while since I've been down on the boat, been working and doing some other things. So when I got here this morning, the boat was an absolute wreck. So naturally the birds, they had a nice little party on the boat. They made a nice big mess. So I had to clean all that up. So that was the first thing I had to do. But I need fuel and I need to just do some maintenance. So I'm going to be doing some system checks on the engine, just, oil checks and just looking things over, doing some inspection stuff. Just basic maintenance, things you do in between fishing trips that ensure that when you go out, you're gonna be able to come back. So I'm gonna bring you guys along today and show you exactly what that is. Very simple, easy boat care type of video today. I hope it helps you out. I hope it's informative and I hope you enjoy it. So let's get going. All right, first things first, we are going to pop off our cowling. That's just 3 easy clips, just like that. Real quick. Systems check. Oil's good. Color's good. Do a little, make sure we don't have anything leaking through any of our gaskets. Our wires look good, no corrosion. You basically want us to, you want to get eyes on your engine. You want to see how we're looking. Right up in here. These are the areas that I think are essential when you can see that there's nothing bleeding through. That's all good flushing. You can see we spray this down with corrosive inhibitor. Keeps everything nice and fresh, like the day I bought it. So, all right, quick little inspection under the cowling. As you can see, that doesn't take long, it takes but a few minutes. Oil's good, we're clean, ready to roll. Every time. All right, so coming up you have Wagner's dock right here, and they don't usually post their prices, but we're going to see if they have it today. So they're at $4.49 a gallon. Over here on the other side we have the Keyport Marine Basin, and if you haven't figured it out yet, I'm in Matawan Creek. This is where my home port is. And these guys were both well over $5 a gallon at the beginning of the season. So they're still running $4.95 a gallon. And I've been out of my slip. I've literally been out of my slip maybe 3 minutes. So gas is close to me if I need to get it, but I don't want to pay that price. So I'm heading to a different place where I've been fueling up all season, but we're definitely heading there to get our fuel. It's been significantly lower, and I'll show you when I get there. But I get a nice boat ride in the meantime, and then I'll be heading over to one of my favorite coves. If you watch the video where I put the numbers on the whaler, I'll be heading over that way to do a water line cleaning, a transducer cleaning, and basically an outboard bracket cleaning. I just, those are things that I do, and I'll get into that when we get to that part of the video. Right now, we're just gonna get out of the harbor, and we're gonna go get it. So that bridge represents the divide between Keyport and Aberdeen, and on this side of the bridge, which would be the bay side of the bridge, you have Browns Point Marina. Okay, Wagner's continues on the other side. Their slips go all the way out to the end of the harbor. As you can see, the camera's picking it up too well, but that's the end of Wagner's slips. On the other side, you've got Browns Point. A few days ago, we had a pretty bad boat fire here. It's all that anybody's been talking about in this area. I got a bunch of calls, hey, is your boat okay? Boat fire where you keep your boat. But fortunately, I am way further up the creek where I keep my boat, and I wasn't anywhere near it. The boat was never in danger, and I was okay. But I will show you as best I can that area where the boats burned. Three boats burned up pretty bad, total loss. And yeah, they're trying to figure out how it happened. So let's get up there and see what it looks like. This will be the first time I'm seeing it too, so we're all gonna go see it together. You know, stinks because you know, it's 3 people now that don't have a boat to use. You know, everybody has their thoughts on why those things happen, but it's an unfortunate situation. I was real happy that my buddy's boat right here was okay. I was concerned, but I did see that their boat is fine. Beautiful Grady White 23 Gulfstream. My buddies Billy and Joey. Shout out to you guys, hope you're watching. So we are working our way up to the site where it all went down. And this is the scene of where the fire took place. As you can see, this boat went down, and I believe they pulled the other 2 out. It was a total of 3 boats. He obviously cut all the pilings off, and yeah, it was a bad scene. It was all over Facebook. Makes you kind of feel bad. That's someone's boat, you know. A lot of work goes into it. Have it end up like that. It's just tough to see that. You never want to come down and see your boat looking like that, that's for sure. But I hope everybody gets made whole on that. I hope everything turns out to be okay, that there's no foul play involved, and that, you know, if it was an unfortunate accident, you know, just super happy no one got hurt. None of the firemen got hurt putting it out. They were able to do it safely, you know, get the job done before any further damage took place, and then hopefully they're properly insured and they can get made whole again and do what they got to do. You know, get back on the water, or, you know, some people just walk away from it altogether. But anyway, that was the big event in the harbor. So now we're going to get out of here and go see how much fuel costs at my favorite fuel spot this season. Now, I showed you before, and this is one of the reasons I do this, because when I was running, you saw that flashing 8 feet. Well, because the transducer's so dirty, it can't read at speed. And now that I'm going, you know, basically idle speed, it'll start to read again. So once I clean that up, that'll read at speed, and that to me is just, it's very important. I mean, any boater knows you got to know how deep you are. You could rely on your soundings, but it's always good to know what your machine's telling you. So that's a crucial reason why I'm doing what I'm doing today. It's basically maintenance. It's simple, easy, and I actually enjoy it. So, but that's a big reason. Woo, if that don't tell the story, I don't know what does. You saw what it was in my creek. You saw what the gas prices were in my creek, and it's worth the ride down here. I mean, $3.80, how could you not? Good Lord. So here she is, my beautiful Sailfish 2360. I love this boat. I'm gonna go over everything with you when I'm done. but she's been real good to me. And I'm real good to her. So we got to get a park ranger to come down here. This is Monmouth Cove Marina. And believe it or not, this is a park. It's part of the park system. Of course, I never fill up without adding stabilizer. It is just the best thing to do every time you fuel up. It's just one of those preventative measures that if you constantly do it, just, you know, the motor just keeps on running. So we put that in before the fuel, and that'll mix beautifully with my 200 or my 50 gallons I'm about to take on. So I'm probably going to take about $200 worth of fuel. Well, that'll be more than 50 gallons because that price, the last time I fueled up here, it was $4.10 a gallon, which by the numbers you just saw before are still significantly lower. It's down to $3.80, so I'm gonna get even more bang for my buck. So it's worth the ride. I bet you the fuel I burn here still, it's still a better deal. So $3.80 a gallon, $200 worth. We'll see what the gallon total is. So my Ranger is just pulling up. I just need a pump and a park ranger. We in business. Taking on fuel, going fishing Sunday.
To-do list, you know the deal.
I do know the deal. I know the deal all too well, man.
Some hours of sleep in there.
It's a wise man right here I'm talking to. I'm making a YouTube video, so.
What's up? How you doing?
All right.
God bless America.
That's right. Monmouth Cove, man, best price around. I don't know why you'd go anywhere else.
Everybody, we got people come from Keyboard, Stack.
That's where I'm from. I came out of Mattawan Creek.
Yeah, well, I believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wagner's over there. Blue.
I'm at Seaboard.
Okay, Seaboard. Yeah. Oh yeah, he's good people, Steve, up there.
Yeah.
It's good people.
Yeah, it's a good spot. You know, I've been there years. You know, this is probably my third boat I had in there. Yeah. So, but yeah, good people.
He's good. I'm sure you won't have no problems, but I mean, he's pretty good with fixing shit and take care of stuff.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt.
But there's a lot of fluke action going on out there. Fluke, mahi, tuna, the rest of the gauntlet of stuff. Of course, fluke is always good. A lot of people have been coming in the flay station every day, so.
Okay, well, that went well. So I wound up getting 55 gallons of fuel for $200. So that was great. And I made a friend and a subscriber. He was hitting the subscribe button as I was pulling away from the dock. So hey guys, that reminds me. So if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, sign up. We're closing in on 1,000, so we're gonna keep this party rolling, and I'm happy to keep making these videos. As long as you guys keep supporting the channel, I can do more and more with it. So hit the subscribe button. Great guy back there. Like I said, great place for fuel. $3.80. I mean, come on. $4.95 at the home dock. Not doing it. I'd rather take a ride. I mean, obviously conditions permitting, but still, I'll wait it out. I'll come here every time. I've been coming here all summer. So that's the strategy. Now it's time to go clean the water line. It's time to clean the outboard bracket, and most importantly, as you saw, my transducer, because at speed I'm not getting any readings, and we need readings. So I like to know how deep I'm at all times, especially when I'm in waters where it's shoaly. I mean, I've had this boat down in Shark River, I've had this boat down in Manasquan this year, so you know, I don't go there a lot, so it's not like the back of my hand like up here in the Raritan Bay. But I also have not been spending a ton of time in the Raritan Bay, so I want everything to work as it should. So, and it's just part of what I do for maintenance. You know, and it just gets my boat out of the slip, gets me running it and using it. So if you look for an excuse to run your boat, hey, tell those that need to know, hey, I gotta go out and do a maintenance run today. I gotta clean the water line, I gotta clean transducers, I gotta clean the outboard bracket. But that's what's up next on this video. So we're gonna buzz over to my favorite cove and clean things. But first, let me show you the gas. Okay, so I came in under a half a tank. I was about between a quarter and half. So I took 55 gallons on, and that puts me right in the sweet spot of just under 3/4. So what does that mean? Well, we're gonna see what we run at now. RPMs will change a little bit. Obviously, I have more weight now because I have more fuel. but my cruising speed might adjust a little bit, and that's what I'm going to be looking for when I put this thing up on plane and buzz over to the cove. So that's what we're going to do now. Take on fuel and we're going to see where we're at. All right, we're going to get out of here and get over there. All right, so we are at the cove. I just tossed out the anchor. I wanted to film it, but it's hard to do all that by yourself. So give you a little show what I got going on. So there's my anchor locker, my deployed anchor. We'll see if she grabs. She always does. She's a good anchor and reliable. And there it is. She's getting tight. Boat's swinging. Little tug test. We'll see how we do. Looks like we're good. Yep. Oh yeah, she's on. All right. All right, so we're situated. All right, let's see how deep we are. Back around. So, all right. That's it's reading just about 3 feet. And that's from the bottom of the keel. So probably another foot. So it's about 3.5 feet, which is perfect for me to get in the water, do some scrubbing. I'll show you real quick what I mean. So as you can see, I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but there's a ton of growth down there on my transducer and along my water line, which it actually doesn't look bad. But I'll walk around the boat just to be sure, make it clean. That pretty much will be the last time I do this season. I do this maybe 2 or 3 times, mostly just because I like to. I just like the boat to look nice. I don't like growth all over my essential hardware, like my outboard bracket and obviously my transducer. So this is how I do it. It's a great time to get out, and get in the water. It is mid-September, so we're looking about, it's about 73 degrees. The water is 71, just under 71, just under 72 degrees. So it's warm enough. I brought a big thick towel and a hooded sweatshirt to wear home. So we're gonna get in the water and we're gonna see how cold I'm gonna get. But gotta do it, man. Gotta take care of it. So shut it off. And that little motor, if you heard that, I don't know if the camera picked it up. I have those auto retracting trim tabs. Phenomenal. Again, everything on this boat has worked flawlessly. I hope I'm not jinxing myself, but no, it has. It's been a tremendous boat. I'm the second owner. The gentleman I bought it from took such good care of it. He he switched out my switch panel for me before I took possession of the boat. This, if you are familiar with Sailfish, they use that rubber membrane button system out of the factory. At least they did back then. They don't do that anymore. He had this switched out for me before I took ownership of the boat. So zero issues there. The radio, it's God knows how old, but it works. I haven't replaced it yet, but I will next year. The Garmin VHF works great, although the cord's obviously starting to show its age. It's dry rotting out. I have been looking into replacing just the mic cord, and if you know about how to go about that, leave me a comment, because I would love to just do that and keep the radio, because the radio works great. This one right here, this 4210, has worked great. No problems, no issues. Probably will find itself onto the Whaler somehow, but that is a topic for another day. And then of course my Suzuki SMG7 gauge. Love these things. I have the same gauge on the Whaler, and this thing has been great. Super reliable, no problems with it. Great. Going on my 5th season with it. I put this Suzuki on the boat. This motor was put on in 2020. I took possession of it August 4th, 2020, and I am almost at 200 hours, and it has been a workhorse. It has been everything I expected it to be and more. It's propped perfectly. Boat moves along great. Running over here after getting fuel. So going over there quickly, I didn't show it on the gauge, because on the gauge when I'm running, I don't have mics, so you're gonna hear a bunch of wind noise. So just giving you the rundown. I was getting 2.5 miles per gallon, and I was burning 11 gallons an hour, and it didn't change much at all, going about 26 knots. That's just a skosh under 30 miles an hour, about 29 miles an hour. That's a great cruising speed. 24-foot boat with a 9-inch or the 9-foot beam. Took on fuel, 55 gallons. Not much changed. 2.5 again on the gallons per hour, and I think I was getting 11. Maybe it moved up to 12. I saw 12, but 11. So the numbers didn't change much. So super efficient, which is what I love about it. You know, the single setup. It's just an efficient boat to run. It's the type of boat that's big enough to go out with a lot of friends. I've fished as much as 5. In the last video, I had my son Brian and his 2 friends and myself. None of us had issues, you know, and I was, you know, running around the boat. If you watch that video, check it out. I'm running around the boat, detangling, you know, rigs, taking hooks out of stuff, and just helping these guys out because they didn't have that kind of experience fishing yet, but they were having a ball and we were catching fish, and I was busy. So running around a center console, super easy to do. So this boat, it's just a fat enough hull that I can get around. This console is big. If you look, this console, it's big. So it is a lot of room on it. You can do a lot as far as configurations go, but it doesn't take up a lot of space. I could walk up the sides, and I'm not turning my shoulders one bit. So as you see, I'm walking down the side, and I don't have to turn my shoulders. So it is a roomy boat. Big reason you buy a center console with a bathroom, because if you have a wife and a daughter, they're going to want to use the bathroom, and down in there is everything they need to do what they need to do. That is, believe it or not, a bathroom and a changing room. And the seating up front in this boat is definitely, I think, a cut above for its age. I mean, I know that they've come a long way with, you know, they've come a long way with seating up front and the backrests, and I'm actually working on having backrests for this made. Just a few more customizations. I mean, listen, if you own a boat, or you ever wanted to own a boat, customizing your boat is just something that is part of boating, in my opinion, because you want to make it yours. You want it to do what you need it to do. They're designed specifically to do stuff like this. Is a fishing boat, but I can turn this into the family boat like that. This has a full cushion package up front. That seat right there is one of the most comfortable spots on the boat. I have often sat in this seat and filmed. I've done my intros, my outros sitting in this seat. I've actually sat here. I've smoked cigars, just watched the sun go down. So I'm so happy with this boat. I have no plans to get rid of it, and I plan on doing more to it so I can film better on it, get more adventures out on it, catch more fish, go farther, and enjoy myself, make memories on it, which we did the other day. Like I said, watch that last video. It's the first time I had my son out in 2 years, and it was so fun to get him, his buddy Sebastian, his buddy Zach out. They had a great time, and they're looking forward to going out striper fishing. So am I, because I want to get them on a big striper so they can see what it's like to feel a big fish pulling. So anyway, I'm going on and on. That's a quick little run through of my boat. You know, you've seen me film on it many times. I'm going to continue to film on it, and this is what I do to take care of it. These are just some of the things that I do. You know, keep it nice, you know, clean the water line. The Raritan Bay, you know, I don't know where you keep your boats. If you do, and it's similar to me, you know that fouling is a problem when you keep your boat wet slipped. So, and here in the Raritan Bay, barnacles, slime, and grime. Those are our 3 big enemies, and they will slow performance, and they will help, they'll make your boat run just terrible. You'll burn more fuel, and it's just a nuisance. It'll block cooling passages if you're running inboards or IOs. I don't see too many of those anymore, but there are still a few out there. But as far as outboards are concerned, that's not a worry, but the brackets get just all gummed up like this one. So I'm gonna clean that today, do the water line, but most importantly, that transducer. If I use the boat, that transducer stays clean. But I haven't used the boat for probably a couple of weeks, not since I took Brian and his friends out. So it's been a couple of weeks. Weather hasn't been favorable, been windy, been cloudy, had some storms and some rain, and I've been busy. I took a job, started working again, so I've been kind of busy. It's been taking up more time than I'd like it to, but that's life. So over here today to kind of finish that off, and then we'll be able to, you know, continue on with our season. Stripers are going to be coming in soon. I love chasing the stripers. You know this. You've seen some of the old videos, and I'm looking forward to making some new ones. So I'm going to go get in this water and freeze my boat. Whew. All right. Not as bad as I thought. Okay. So from the water view, this is what we're looking at. So this bothers me. So if you're like me, you like your boat to be squared away. So these are the things that kind of, when I look at them on the dock, I say, need to get there, need to take care of that. Trim tabs, little bit, but not bad. But when I feel underneath my boat, there is zero. When I feel under the boat, there is zero, and I mean zero, slime or grime. And I'm going to show you what I use to put on the bottom of this boat to keep that from happening, because I've had stuff where it's just not good. So I'm going to get to scrubbing and make this stuff look better. Now I will admit, I don't scrape because I don't want to take paint off, but just getting most of it off is kind of the goal, the objective. And I just basically I make it so I could sleep at night. And then I clean that anode that's under here. I keep that surface as fresh as possible so it could do its job. And it's been doing its job. So that's significantly better. So I'm going to go and do the other side now. You can see all the junk in the water from me doing it. But just basically, now, real quick, probably a lot easier if I just put this up. All the way up. All right. Okay, now you can kind of see what we have now compared to what we had before. Much cleaner. Okay, I can live with that, and it's a lot less work for me to do when this boat comes home for the winter. It'll be a lot less for me to clean up. So now it's moving on to the waterline. Now the waterline didn't look bad from the boat, but in the water you could kind of see some discoloration. I don't know if the camera picks it up. Again, I hope it does, but you can see, like right about here, this is all just a little bit of buildup, but not enough to slow performance or anything, but it certainly does affect appearance. Oh, we got stuff in there I gotta get out. But you can see there's a little bit of a line underneath this little ridge. The hull comes down and then goes in a little bit. The hull comes down and goes in just a little bit. So I'm gonna walk around the entire water line and I'll clean that. So I'm not gonna film me scrubbing it, but I'll give you a little before and obviously what it looks like after. All right, so as you can see, much different. So this is all much cleaner. Right along this ridge, no more foulness. Paint's still holding up well. I got a couple of areas where I've kind of gotten through, but I'll touch that up in the next year, but that'll be okay for now. So we are looking good. All right, so that side's clean, and I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. So add a little bit more to get off here, and it comes right off. This paint is great. I'm gonna show you guys exactly what brand it is and why. If you have to deal with a lot of fouling, you should use it. I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing on the other side now. All right, so here is the waterline view of it all cleaned up. You know, and it allows me too to get under here and look at a part of the motor that probably, I don't know, a lot of people look at. You know, it's always tucked under here, but you can get up in here and see if there's any oil leaking out, if everything's situated properly. You know, you could just get eyeballs on here and really inspect and see how everything looks. You know, get up and close with your seals here on your trim unit. You know, check all that, make sure it's good. You know, make sure these don't have grime and grit on them. You know, all this stuff. You want to make sure that under here is going well. You know, you want to make sure under here is good also. You don't want to ignore this part of your engine. A lot of crucial things are happening here. You've got your trim system. Okay, you want to make sure your rams are good. There's no pitting forming. Your seals look good. There's no rust. It doesn't look like anything's forming up or caking around these seals. Okay, on your main one here, your motor and your reservoir all look good. No corrosion. I spend a lot of time rinsing that when I come back, and I will do that today. But it's always good because when you're in the water, you can see better under here. Hop on the other side, you can check the other side as well. Get up here under your cooling passages, see everything looks good there. Your prop, your cavitation plate, you know, just kind of can get closer to everything and make sure things are functioning the way they should. Okay, so there is a ton of advantages to just doing this very simple thing. This isn't complicated. It's basically just take your boat for a ride, go get fuel, go someplace where you know you can hop in the water, where it's shallow, and you can do things like this to make the boat run and perform the way you want to all season long. And that's the goal. You want to go in, use it, pull it out, put it away. You don't want to be coming out for repairs from, you know, caused by neglect, caused by, you know, something that you didn't notice was happening. So, you know, that's pretty much why I do all of this stuff. And again, I enjoy it. You know, I'm in the water, I'm enjoying a nice, beautiful day. You know, it's warm out still. You know, it won't be long before it gets cold and I won't be doing this anymore. But I can tell you at this point in September, this will be the last time I have to do this on the boat. Okay, she'll be good enough to go for the rest of the season, and yeah, bring on the stripers, and hopefully we're gonna get offshore soon. Just time and weather haven't allowed that, but everything looks good now. I'm happy, and I'm gonna sleep good tonight knowing that she's looking her best. As you can see, nice clean water line. Outboard bracket is cleaned up. And I did clean the transducer. As you can see, this wire here, this is where the transducer comes out. I'm not gonna film it, obviously, because it's down here. Raritan Bay water is not exactly conducive to photography or filming, but rest assured, I scrubbed the heck out of that. So I'm gonna hop back out, dry off, and get ready to pull anchor and head back. Well, all right, so that went well. And I'm not as cold as I thought I would be. So I was able to get in the water, clean that transducer. We'll see what happens at speed if I'm reading depth, because I wasn't last couple of trips. Like when I took the kids out, I didn't know how deep I was until I stopped. That was the biggest reason I came out here to do this. But while out here, I do the bracket on the outboard, keep that clean. It's less to do when you go to put your boat up for the winter time. You know, less gunk on there, and when you pull the boat out, it dries. It's just harder to get off. So keeping that stuff under control is crucial. And obviously the water line, because then the boat looks better anyway. You know, I don't like, who wants their boat to just have growth all over it? At least not me. So. But I hope this video was helpful. I hope you thought it was something that, you know, you could relate to. It's just a different kind of day on the boat. It's that kind of day that, you know, you can take your boat out and do a little maintenance that isn't necessarily like work. You know, it's just taking your boat out and kind of enjoying it in a different way with a maintenance-minded attitude. I guess that's the best way to put it. But that's how I do. I mean, that's what I do. That's, you know, my goal is to put the boat in the spring and take it out in the fall. And I don't want to come out unless I'm doing a service. And I'm coming up on that. So anyway, so just a quick little fun day of getting out and taking care of my boat. I do plan on going out in a couple of days to go fishing. So now I'm ready. So we're gonna go ahead, speed back to the harbor, tie this thing up, give it a good rinse, a good clean, and hopefully it stays that way for Sunday morning. Got things to do tomorrow, but Sunday, I'm up early, out early, hopefully coming back with fish early. All right, guys, hey, thanks for subscribing. We hit the 961 mark this morning. Super excited to get to 1,000 and beyond. And listen, I can't do that without you guys. You know, thank you for everybody that's gotten me this far. I never thought when I did my first video that I would even be talking about 1,000 subscribers, but yeah, kind of fell into it, but it's been a lot of fun. I've enjoyed it. I almost get like, man, I haven't posted. I know I go a little while without posting, but you know, I do still work. You know, I have a busy family schedule, you know, and I know you guys can relate that are out there. You know, life just gets, you know, life gets busy. So, you know, that keeps me from getting out as much as I'd like to, but we're working on that. So I hope this video kind of just, you know, progresses us along, keeps us in touch. But thank you for subscribing, thank you for liking, and thank you for watching. Guys, I'll see you on the next one. Be safe, be well.